All right, folks, let's get started here. A little bit of a session here at Saturday evening. And let's see, let's change this to this. Okay. And I just got back from doing some Gaslands gaming. Last night we did some, and honestly, we started kind of late, so we weren't able to finish that event. But we finished that one this afternoon and then did another one. So got some Gaslands gaming in and had a pretty good time. Interesting things happen. Lots of carnage. I think that's the correct terminology. Let's see if I can adjust this. Lots of Gaslands carnage. So, and in that, we kind of broke in a new player, not a new war gamer, but someone that was new to Gaslands. And it seemed like they had a pretty good time. Mitch and I did, so with him. And this particular person also brought me more cars, because I'm really low on them. I'm only down to about 300 cars to work on. So let's get into that. And these are from a thrift shop. He actually bought a lot more. He's like, hey, pick some stuff you can work on. And I'm like, all right, well, we'll look at doing this stuff in the future. We're not going to move them all the way to the front of the queue, but we got this bag of die-cast cars, and let's take a look at them and see what we got, what could be coming up. Metal Razor, welcome. Let me move this out of the way. Make room for my coffee cup. And show you what we got here. Thank you. So this guy's getting out of control, making some noise. Let me put the super readers, as I like to call them, on. All right. So we've got some construction vehicles, and they're like freaking neon orange. Now, these guys will end up getting. Geez, can I put these guys somewhere? They're not. No, I guess I can't. Put this here. That we're going to give them a matte finish on them, and then give them a brownish wash, and that should tone them down. But I may actually repaint these because construction vehicles are really. They could be any color, but oh, there's actually a person in there. Let's see if you guys can make that out. There's actually a person in the cab. There's a steering wheel holder in there. Let's see, he's on this side. He actually has a face. There he is. So this might be something like, hard hat hoonigans or something like that. And it's Peterbilt cement truck. This is definitely something that would be perfect for using a glue dropper, right? And probably a heavy truck with a glue dropper. So anyhow, we got that. I may repaint that because that safety orange is like an eyesore. Construction vehicles are more likely to be in something like this, which is just a regular yellow, right? And yeah, this thing's got a built-up ram. Please clean your ass with water. Absolutely. Don't use turpentine. Now, this is actually a Matchbox vehicle. Relatively old, isn't it? 80... Geez, there's a lot of glare on this thing. 81. 81. And this one is one of the few that actually has a plastic rivet. So we'll actually drill through that rivet and pop it out. And this is a Hot Wheels. And look, it even has a wang. A construction vehicle with a wang. Interesting. What else do we got here? We got a front end loader. Majorette. It's the first Majorette vehicle I have. Majorette used to be French. I don't know if they still are. Doesn't say where this one comes from. And it has a front end loader, and the front end loader is actually metal. That's unusual. it's almost always plastic. So that's nice. Yeah, this is the color you want construction vehicles in, not doing orange. So probably repaint them. Okay. Moving right along, we got another Friendland loader in this bright ass orange thing. This one happens to be a Matchbox tractor shovel 1976. I didn't know they had this color in 1976. This is a good candidate to put like the netting on here, right? It's got no glass. Just put the netting on there so the guy doesn't go a-flying. And it actually has a pretty cool front. Now, this is not the stuff I'm going to work on next. I'm pretty sure I know what I'm going to work on next. I was waiting to get some of the weapons in. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But we've got lots of these construction vehicles. Look at this heavy thing. Now, this is really out of scale. If you've ever seen one of these earth movers in real life, this tire tends to be extremely tall, taller than a person. This is really a gigantic vehicle. And yeah, this is 1/140th scale. Okay, so most Hot Wheels and Matchboxes are 1/64th. This is 1/140th. So this is the real vehicle would be more than twice as big as this. But you know, it's a hokey game. It has a lot of things that are out of scale. Everything on here is metal. So there's that. All right, this track monster. Remember that guy a couple of years ago that decided to drive a killdozer? That's what it was called. A killdozer type of thing. It's a 1991 Hot Wheels. And Heemeyer, the guy's last name, he had a last name kind of like that. And I want to say that was in California, Washington State, something like that. I don't know, some kind of disgruntled guy that decided to go on some smash and grab thing. I think it was more like a smash and more smash thing. I think it was eventually stopped by the military or something like that. Killdozer. All right. We have a stock car. I actually don't have any stock cars. And this one is Food Lion Dinner Bell. Sorry, the video is backwards. That's just how it is. And this does not have a name. Does not have a name. And of course, we're going to keep all these graphics on them. I don't even know who makes this thing. Food Lion's still around? Oh, Food Lion's still around. It's based in Jacksonville. We had one in this town. It was a nasty store. It was a nasty grocery store. This is some kind of Ford Focus, an 08 Ford Focus. Got a nice. He got stuck on a basement he didn't know was under a building. He was smashing. Okay, so he smashed the building and went into the basement. You know, I wonder how often that happened in the Second World War. You know, you'd have like tanks that just drive through a building, and then oops, it has a basement. Got stuck in the basement, didn't know it was under a building, was smashing. He couldn't get loose, so he ate his own ammo. Ate his own ammo. What do you mean by that? He choked on a grenade? Yeah, I Killdozer, right? Made in Malaysia, little guy. This doesn't have as much detail as the last Focus that I did. And see how the windows are just like this yellow, right? When you give them a wash, they'll look pretty cool. Now, the interior of this thing is like white, so that's not going to fly. But we should be able to make this thing look pretty good. He pulled the trigger before he ate the bullet. Oh, okay, so he suicided himself. Okay. Was he like a disgruntled employee or something like that? See, I get that guy mixed up with. Remember the guy that was? I think this was in California. He took like an M60 tank for a test drive, and he was like driving around. I mean, I think the turret was facing backwards, and he was driving this M60 tank all over somewhere in L.A. or something like that. All right, I need to send a message. Okay, sorry about that. I got somebody constantly sending me things, and it's someone that I know. It's my daughter. I just let her know I'm filming right now. Keep getting buzzed every time it comes in. And this is a Pikes Peak Celica. So I guess it's a Celica race car based on that race that they do up Pikes Peak. There's something in this room. There's something in this room. I was talking to my wife, and when I left my earlier painting session here, I went out and she's out of town right now, but I went out and did the things I needed to do today. And she said, "Man, your voice sounds really stopped up." And I said, "Yeah, I don't know. It's when I got in this room, I started feeling it. And again, I've been on 12 minutes and I already feel it. I don't feel bad. I'm just like, I wonder what the hell it is." She's like, "Oh, when did you get your little HEPA thing or something like that?" I don't know. This is a new house. There shouldn't be any dust. All right, what else we got in here? Oh, we got two of them that go together. Oh, we have one more construction vehicle. This one's all dinged up, but it'll be fine. My buddy got these at for a pittance. He's like, "Hey, look through them, see if you're interested in any of them." I said, "All right, well, this taxi's pretty cool." I don't know who the heck's going to use this thing, but one of the teams will use this thing. It's got details in the back. Let's see if you guys can see that. There's like a little table down there with like maybe a wine glass, something like that. We'll take this thing apart and make something magical. Got to get rid of some of that gold. It's a little too bling bling for it. I got two vehicles that go together, and it's this one. This is actually he had land and a deal. Someone with small town connections kept effing with him, give him a permit for road, then take away the permit, environmental inspections, animal abuse accusations. Oh, okay. You got pushed too far, like that movie with Michael Douglas. Falling down, he just had it. It was in California, right? Maybe California does that to people. This is actually a Mustang, and it's a Grandview Fire Department. So this is like a Fire Marshal Bill car. Sounds like a vehicle that should have a flamethrower on it. Like this. It's a fire department, but it's white. What? Get out of this city. Yep. It's hook and ladder, and it's missing the hook. Again, out of scale. This is Matchbox. I think most of the Matchboxes used to actually say what scale they are. This one does not. I've got a bunch of off-road vehicles and haven't really done a whole lot with them. This happens to be a Land Rover, I think. Mud studs. Hot Wheels Range Rover Classic. Yeah. It's got a muddy looking wheels. Cool. Anybody who's from my age knows what this is. So Volkswagen used to make the Rabbit, right? Oh, it even says Volkswagen on the back. Awesome in 3D. And this was their Rabbit truck. Back when everybody made little pickup trucks like this. Volkswagen made them. The Isuzu pups were famous for having them around. They're really inexpensive. And they had this back seat that was right up against the window. If you hit the brakes too far, you come back and you spider web your back windshield. This thing is some make-believe looking monoposto from 2000, and it is a Hot Wheels. And I have this chain gun looking thing. Let's see. Rail gun is what I meant to say. I have a rail gun. It should fit on there pretty nicely. Well, a chain gun would fit on there as well. Something like this. That'd fit on there pretty well. But what I was thinking about is this long ass thing. Looks like a long shotgun, honestly. Long shotgun. I'm surprised that a lot of people do a lot of this Gasland stuff, and they put a lot of effort into replacing the tires. It's like almost like an afterthought. Like, I don't even care about replacing tires, because if you go and you take the tires off this thing and put it on here, then what are you going to do with these tires? You can't put them on this one. It doesn't look right. So I'm not huge on switching out the tires on things. And then we got one more. It's a Ferrari Spider. And it's a coupe in silver. So that's what we got from Marty. Like I said, I don't have any construction vehicles. This is going to be like, hard hat hooligans or something. But these will have to be taken apart, clear coated, so the paint will stick to them. This is on down the line. I have hundreds of vehicles to do. And I do mean hundreds. I probably have, 200 vehicles, something like that. Now, I do have a set of vehicles that are ready to go. They've already been clear coated. We don't need a pen here. These have all been clear coated, and they also have a brown wash on them. So we can basically take them to the next level. Okay, and I thought I had all the pieces here for them, but, we've got, well, what's this all about? What's flickering? Is it this? All right, maybe it's that light. No, are we getting a... All right, so we've got this guy. It's going to be Jeeves. Let's do this. This is a McDonald's car. This is a make-believe car or something like that. See if I can find all the parts to it. They were all together. This is from one of the wrecks. This is from another wreck. Oh, this actually might not have an interior. This is the interior of this guy here. That's Jeeves' interior. Where is the... So we ended up playing 3 battles? Something like that. 3 Gasland games. Had some fun. Introduced him to it. He seemed to enjoy it. Maybe be ready to do a video next time we play it. Here's the inside of this. Here's the inside of this, and here's the wheels for it. Oh, that's right. This is the one I left the wheels outside. All right, well, they're here somewhere because I found them and brought them back in. Give me just a moment. We'll put this in a pile of other cars that we have. Oh yeah, geez, we got so much stuff. And I don't like to work on everything at once. Like, I got some other cars. Let's knock out the ones that have already been have primer on them, you know. The parts to this one are on here too. This beautiful Trans Am. All right, let's see if we can put all these things together. I believe this is the window to the Trans Am, but the Trans Am doesn't have an interior yet because this is the one for this one. I think this is the one for this one. I thought it was the one for this one. This is the bottom of this McDonald's car. Okay. This is the entire interior of Grape Shot. And this is the window to this one. And the only reason I take them apart is just so we can get in and get everything painted on the inside like it's going to. Most of these cars have a visible interior, and I want to make sure that that is visible if it needs to be. Okay, so this is this guy all together. This Camaro, we did not build the Camaro because the Camaro needed to have a ram. It looked like a vehicle that definitely was going to have a ram, and that pretty much stopped it dead in its tracks. Okay, we got the rams, we got the parts that came in from that other company, and this is this guy all together. Okay. We have, this is the interior of this vehicle. The Scorpion, I guess it's some kind of, this was turned into a wreck. This was also turned into a wreck. This is the bottom of a wreck. This is the bottom of a wreck. So let's not consider any of those right now. This is Jaded. Jaded. Which vehicle is Jaded? Damn, I don't. Oh, it's this one. That's funny because this doesn't look anything like it. It's like a Carmen Ghia. What's up, Scott? How are you, man? Thanks for joining me in the morning. Yeah, we just came back and we were playing, did a game of Gaslands with, this is the window that goes with Ramrat. I'm actually going to throw that away. It's just in too bright a color. It just doesn't have any hope. This is the window for this. So we played some Gaslands today with, my friend Marty came up and he was staying with Mitch. And I know, why does everything happen at Mitch's house? I don't know. Well, he can't stay here. I got people here. Okay, this guy's going to be Grape Shot. Okay. So that guy's all together. This is the window for this Grinning Death or whatever the hell this thing's going to be called. How did you do the game? Well, it was a learning game, so we're all playing together. Did we do 2 games? I won one with Chrome Carl, and then the second one, we used teams with a larger vehicle and a smaller vehicle. It was the first time the larger vehicles got used up. So, like, I had the Boom Bus and Methcalade, and Mitch had White Trash and... What other vehicle did he have? Marty had Old Ben with a big cannon, and it was impressive. It was impressive when it got a hit. And he had Jerry Skids, and Mitch had Mud Puppy and White Trash. So, in that one, like, everybody got blown away except the Boom Bus and Old Ben. And Old Ben actually won the race. It took off. And, you know, it's a truck. It's very different playing a vehicle that can only roll 2 dice. It's very different. Like you have to like not take risks because you just don't have enough dice to recover. You just don't have enough dice to recover. All right, so is this the interior of it is. This is the interior of the Trans Am. Okay. Perfect. Oh yeah. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. And here's the RC cars that we're going to use. These are the RC cars that we'll be using as I don't want them on stands. We're going to unglue them from here. These are the RC cars that come with the Nerd Burglar vehicle. Yeah, I got some pictures. Probably the next time we play, I'm probably going to film it. Some interesting things happened. It's not, I mean, not everything was interesting, but okay. And here is the glass to that. All right, I need to find the set of wheels for this one, which is somewhere. I'm going to be right back in one moment. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to go back out to the garage, and I saw the extra set of wheels that got left out there when I was airbrushing them, and I didn't bring them in. And I thought I brought them in when I brought this stuff in, but I guess I didn't. I'll be right back in a moment. Well, I did not bring them. I thought I brought them in. I thought I brought them inside. So let me look in one other place. And that's what I was working on here, including. I think I've shown these to you guys, right? Let's see. Exploding fiery wrecks. I had one of my vehicles that just blew up in a Kingdom Come. Those go in here. Those go in here. I have a little tray down here. I have a little tray down here that I brought some of these items in. This is like the, oh, here we go. Here's the smoke. How did the smoke end up being in here? This is the smoke that I painted up this morning. These are my, the gates, all made out of MDF stuff. I've had this stuff for a while now. I just painted it recently. Of course, I haven't played the game in a while. And here are the barrier walls. About 20 of those. This is the little. I was trying to figure out, like, oh, this make a really good oil. I don't think this is oil. I think this is a flame. I think this is like a flamethrower thing. It just happens to be the same pattern, but this is like a flamethrower like area that it goes in. So we'll have to paint this like fire. Yeah, I don't know where that set of wheels came. Well, it's not a big deal. That might be one of those. That might be one of those vehicles I will replace the wheels on. You know, this Grinning Death or whatever the hell we were calling it. And why am I calling it Grinning Death? Well, if you look at the front of this vehicle, which I'll show you in a second, it's definitely happy. It definitely knows something is up. There's definitely something going on through this vehicle's mind. If a vehicle had a mind. Oh, geez. See? It's like smiling, like, you know? Now, I have another set of wheels back here. These are from What are they from? Are they from the big redneck truck? Something like that. I don't know. I don't know if they'll fit in here. Because then sometimes you got to modify them with like, yeah. They're not going to fit in here. See, you'd really have to modify them by cutting out this body. Like, it isn't worth it. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to sit this guy up, and I don't want to use these wheels that are like L shitty cheapo ones. Actually, I have some other ones. I got a spare parts bin. I'm not huge on replacing the wheels, though. I mean, some people are like, that's like the first thing they want to do. And I'm like, I mean, unless they look terrible. Oh, yeah, we got other wheels here. We're playing musical wheels. Shit, I know exactly what I have to do. This is actually the very first thing I was not able to do because I had to wait for these parts to come in. This is what we're going to do. We're going to finish designing because this is a vehicle. It's very different from any other ones that I have. It doesn't mean we're not going to do anything with this. We're not going to do anything with this right now. Let's go ahead and put this nerd vehicle in. Cooter's tow truck. Hambo the Clown. All right. We're going to work on something that we weren't able to work on before because we were waiting on these parts to come in because I was out of rams. Okay, and we're going to build one of these vehicles on the fly. We're going to design one of these vehicles on the fly. And the vehicle we're designing on the fly is this guy. What vehicle is that? It's the Wambulance. Okay, so let me get a notebook here, a piece of paper, the rules, and let's flesh this thing out and then find parts for it and build it. Because I've been wanting to do this thing for a long time. Ricky Gillenwater, welcome. Show me a car you finished. All right. Now, it is backwards, sorry, but this video just does it that way. This is Ram Rat. And actually, this is like an inside joke. There's actually a little rat in there. There's a rat with a piece of pizza. But this is a ramming vehicle. It's got a back ram and a front ram. And it has a skill that I believe it is called boarding party, which basically means that normally in this game, if you're touching another vehicle, you're distracted and you can't do anything else. Like this goes and rams this. They're distracted and can't do that. If you have the boarding party skill, they can still fire weapons at it after they ram it. So you have to pay for that, but this is Ram Rat. Now, I know this is a little drab colored, so let's get something that's a little bit more on the opposite end of the spectrum. I saw this in Walmart and I had to pick this thing up because I knew this was going to be the Bimbo Bomber. And it's got a mortar and it's armored and, pretty neat. It basically didn't have any windows up here. It was completely open. So we closed all that up. It's the original color it came in. I just enhanced it with other stuff. We got our monster truck. Pussyfoot, because there's like a kitty cat and a foot. Actually, there's many feet all over it. So, monster truck. What else we got here? Thump Daddy. Thump Daddy has a thumper, which is basically a big, like a blast. You can only do it one time, but it affects everybody within a radius and it blows them to Kingdom Come. So this is some of the ones that I've done. I've done about 40 vehicles now. So, and they're all relatively different from each other. It still stands at pretty much, I'll ask people, hey, which is your favorite, or is there any you don't like? And nobody's really complained about any of them. That's good because you'd be building it yourself. Oh, you don't like my vehicles? Make your own damn vehicles. All right, so let's go all the way down here. And we're going to design the Wambulance. Now, what's unique about the Wambulance is, and I'm going to have to grab these sheets here because I don't remember the specifics of the ambulance. And I hope they didn't stay over there. That's the one thing, every time I go to Mitch's house, I leave something because it's like, it's disheveled in there. Well, let me get the rules. I left the little printout sheets. I don't like going into the rule book because I'm a bit retentive about damaging the book. But the troop type, the car type ambulance, which we don't have one yet. The ambulance is a middleweight vehicle, has a crew of 3, handling of 2, max gear 5. So it's a truck, and it only has 2 dice. But this one can go up to gear 5, which could be really crazy because you don't have enough. We're using a bunch of vehicles that had only two handling, and it was a challenge. It has 3 build slots, okay, and it costs 20 points. Okay, so the goal with this thing is going to be to make this a 35-point vehicle. Okay, so it's got 3 build slots, and it's already 20 points. So it's already 5 more points than most trucks are. Okay, so one of the things that it needs to have is a ram. Okay, because you can't really ram somebody. You can't call something a wambulance and not wham into things, right? The other thing it's going to have is a harpoon. And the harpoon is going to be mounted here. It's a turreted mounted harpoon. Now, what a harpoon is, it's a super cool weapon. I don't have any of these yet. It actually came with a harpoon, like one of the parts. I'm like, well, we got to work that into something. But the way the harpoon works is basically you shoot it, and if you hit somebody and they're lighter than you, if they're a lighter weight class than you, and by the way, an ambulance is a middleweight, so if it's equal, so it's a middleweight or a lightweight vehicle, which is almost every vehicle. A monster truck is not, a heavy truck is not, and a bus is not. And obviously anything bigger than that. But all the vehicles that I have so far, monster truck, heavy truck, and buses, those are heavyweight vehicles. But everything else is middle or light. And if you successfully hit one of those vehicles, you're going to pull it towards you in a move. So it's like a grappling hook. Okay, you hit it and it pulls people towards you. If the vehicle that it is attached to is a heavier weight class than this vehicle, so it would be the monster trucks, the heavy trucks, the buses, also helicopters, tanks, and war rigs. Don't have any of those yet. It's going to get pulled towards that larger vehicle. So if it gets pulled, and it gets pulled at whatever angle it's at. So for instance, if you have a vehicle that's like this, it's turreted mounted, right? And say you've got Ramrad over here. Okay, and let's say you successfully hit it, it's going to get pulled. Actually, let me just read the rules. It's pretty freaking cool. There is quite a bit of thought that this author put into some of this stuff. Some things could be a little bit more fleshed out, but some of these have kind of some unique ways of thinking, and this is definitely one of them. And it's going to be very useful for hilarity. So if you look at the harpoon rule for the harpoon, it's 5d6, but it's in parentheses. It uses 1 build slot, so we're going to have a harpoon, and it's 5 points. Okay. And what page is the rules on it for? Harpoon, page 74. Okay. It is a harpoon is a cost of 2. I don't know why I put 5 points there. It's not. It's a cost of 2, and because it's turreted, you multiply it by 3. That's a 6-point weapon. Okay? So let's go to page 74 and read more about the harpoon. Harpoon. This vehicle hits do not cause damage. That's 5d6. You're going to be rolling 5d6. Instead, the first uncanceled hit on a vehicle target spins the target vehicle to spot either the face directly or away from the attacking vehicle, whichever requires the smallest degree of rotation, as the harpoon catches and the chain goes taut. This triggers a collision window. So let's say they were firing at Ramrat. Okay, Ramrat's at this angle. It's more this way than it is this way. So if it hits successfully, it immediately is going to turn the vehicle like this directly towards the ambulance. You probably don't want to do this against a vehicle that has a ram. So that's the first hit that you do, does that. The second and subsequent uncanceled hits on the target then can cause the target to make a forced, short, straight move towards the target. Short straight's about this far, okay? It's relatively short. But remember, you put it like this, and then the vehicle travels on the other side of it. So it's this much plus the length of the vehicle. It's not just an inch and a half or something like that. It's an inch and a half plus the length of the vehicle. So it can move relatively far. So it makes the vehicle a forced, short, straight move towards the attacker as the harpoon reels the target in. If the target is a heavier weight class than the attacker, it's the attacking vehicle that spun around and moved towards the target vehicle instead. Now, it doesn't say this, okay? But logic says the second and subsequent uncanceled hits on the target, then each cause the target to make a forced, short, straight move towards the attacker as the harpoon reels the target in. So what's the range of the harpoon? Because I'm going to give a little scenario for you that is going to be extremely entertaining. And all the more reason that you need to see something like this in action. It has double range. Okay, so it has the main range of everything else, which is about this far. So you got 5d6 if you roll them. Every 4, 5, or 6 causes a hit. Every 4 or 5 causes a hit. Every 6 causes 2 hits. So you're rolling 5d6 at a vehicle that's basically out here somewhere. Every hit you do, the first hit you do takes that vehicle and turns it towards you or away from you if it's more lined up with being away. Then any subsequent ones, let's say you get 4 other hits, right? Like you rolled a 6 in there, gave you other hits. It's going to move 1 to turn towards you, and then 3 short straights towards you. It could basically, you're bringing it into you, and it's going to hit your vehicle. Now, what you need is rams in every direction it has, so that when it gets reeled in, it's going to hit a ram, and it's going to do a lot of damage to that vehicle being reeled in. Again, probably a bad idea to use a vehicle with a ram with it, because it's also going to do a lot of damage to this one. But if you had something like just a sports car, it gets reeled in, and if this vehicle has got rams on all sides, because you can have one on the front, you can have one on the back, and you can have one on each side. Of course, each one you have uses a build slot. It only has 3, right? So you're going to need one for the front. I'm going to put one on the back, and I'm probably going to put I believe the exploding rams do not use a build slot. Let's see if that's correct. Exploding ram does not use a build slot, but it only has 1 ammo. Okay, so we're going to put exploding rams, and it costs 3. All right, so we're going to put an exploding ram, and I'll tell you what that looks like, on the side, and that's going to cost 3 points. That's going to cause 3 points. That's going to cost 3 points. Good Lord. Okay, so this we're up to 9 plus 20. That is 29 points, and we'd like to get to 35, so that is 6 points left. The front one is going to use a build slot and cost 4. So that's 13. I got 2 points left to 35. I'm going to put an exploding ram on the back too. It's just going to be a vehicle that's just 36 points, and there's just no other way around it. It's just no way. There's just no other way around it. I could forego having exploding rams on the side, and then just have one on the front and the back. If I did that, then all of my slots would be used, and this would also cost 4. I could scratch through this. This is 18. I would be 1 point short, so I have 1 point to use for something, like grenades or something like that. I think that's probably better, because I don't really want to get into a category where you have 37, 38 points or something like that. And I'm using all the build slots. So we're going to have a ram on the front, we're going to have a ram on the back, like this vehicle, but we're also going to have a harpoon on it. A turreted harpoon here in the middle. All right. Now that we've decided that, let's figure out what this thing's going to look like. All right. So let's put the super readers on, give me a little bit more magnification. We got the harpoon. Let's look at these parts that we just got. I got a shit ton of rams. A shit ton of rams. So let's pull everything out that's a ram. Got that. Got that. No, no. No. Yes. No. Yes. 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 Just making sure some of these variety packs don't have a ram in there. Okay, let's see what we got inside here. We have a sip of some coffee. Happy Saturday night, folks. We have some things here with chains, like extra armor and stuff like that. And we got a ram on the front and ram on the back. Let's pull these things out. See what we got. This cowcatcher looking things. This actually would be a good combination because the front one looks a similar style than the back one. Okay, so that's a possibility. These bags are difficult to open. We got these that look basically like a cow catcher on the front. That's pretty cool. You got this one that's like a grinding machine. I gotta pull this out. This thing's too cool not to show you guys. This is all from Creepy Hero Studios. They're on Etsy and probably on eBay as well. You got like a wood chipper. You got like a wood chipper with like saw blades, and here's where it spits them all out, like, you know. You mount this on the front. This looks like an entertaining game. I'm going to introduce you to my teenager. It's really a fun game. It really is a fun game. That crazy stuff happens. Crazy stuff happens, and it's just, you know, it's probably not a good game playing with people that like want to win at all cost. But if you're interested in having a hilarious narrative, it's a great game. This is some kind of a ram with like little exploding things. See, that's what I thought I was going to do, something like this and put it on the sides, but it just doesn't work point-wise. And I don't want to start, doing little tinkering categories of like, well, this one's 37 points, this one's 33, all that kind of stuff. It makes it real easy to match things up and just grab one of them and go with it. This doesn't look bad. This does not look bad at all. So that's a possibility. I think we need something a little bit meaner for something like this. So that's a possibility. However, I've got something that looks like it's spot on for what we're trying to do here. And that's because these look really similar to the weapon, the harpoon that we're firing. Like, look at this. This actually looks like, I mean, it's armor and it looks like a ram, but I'll be damned that that doesn't look like a grappling hook. So you put like grappling hooks on the front of this thing. That'd be pretty cool. We also have like these teeth. Looks like the teeth on like a crocodile, right? It's the teeth on a crocodile when it closes its mouth. They're all like, you know, they're all up in themselves. This thing is magnanimously large, but something that really belongs on like a truck instead, like a, you know, like a rig truck. So of all these, I would say that this is the winner, especially since it has harpoons on it already. So I'm thinking this wouldn't look half bad. It's have the fronts on the ram and the, so right now this is winning the competition, especially since it has a harpoon. So you've got like a harpoon grappling hook type of theme going on, and it makes sense to me. I don't like just random shit put on there. Okay, all of these things look cool. There's just some things look more in line with what this ought to look like. Okay. We got some super spiky bits in here. Cow catcher looking thing. This could certainly be an exploding ram. So the difference in an exploding ram is it's a one-shot deal. Like, it does even more damage than a ram, but you can't keep using it. Now, what we found out this weekend, it's really handy to have a ram if you end up hitting a wall. Because if you're hitting a wall, you'll take damage from the wall, but you're not going to take a hazard, as long as you hit on the ram. If you get into a collision and you have a ram in that position, you're not going to take 2 hazards from it. And that could save your bacon, because you don't have to do like you don't go out of control or something like that. We got some other things here that are kind of aggressive looking, and there's nothing wrong with them. I just don't think I like them better than the grappling hook. And we've got a grappling hook type of theme going on. And same thing with this. All of these things would be fine, but I think these are more fine. Okay, so we made our decision. Let's put all this stuff back in the box. Now, of course, that means this particular vehicle, this particular vehicle, let's see how many crew members it has. An ambulance has 3 crew. So they're all going to be equipped with pistols. Well, we have, what did we say? This was 20. This thing is 6, that's 26. This is up to 30. Another 4 is 34. That's too short. So it sounds like it's freaking grenades, right? Because I don't think there's any other 2 weapon things. But caltrop droppers. Well, it uses a build slot, so that's a no-go. Set of grays or something like that. Could put a machine gun, but I don't have a slot left. I don't have a slot left. Well, regardless, it's something that wouldn't be pictured. Okay, so we're going to mount this on the front. We're going to mount this on the back. And this is going to be mounted to the roof on a little piece of blue tack, white tack, so we can turn it around as we need to. Okay? So that's decided. Let's go get our bottle caps. 1, 2, 3. All right. So I'm going to make sure these don't have any flash, which I don't think they do. But let's take a look first. Actually, they actually do have some flash. But I want to make sure that I don't break this by accident. Maybe they don't. So we're going to use this. We don't need this much blue tack. And same thing with this one. And harpoony goes like so. All right, let's get our Vallejo primer. Man, this thing is noisy. All right. So this actually runs into the crevices pretty well. Yeah, I think the teacher would like it. It's a pretty easy game to learn. Especially if you're going to learn with someone, so you're learning together. That's my preferred way to play. I don't want to like play a game with somebody that's like veteran, knows all the ins and outs. I'd rather like figure it out with somebody. There's too many folks that are just win at all costs and would just have a bad experience. Okay, so that's the harpoon, primered in black. Now we're going to do these grappling hook type things. Grappling hook looking blades. And we're going to try to go to bed at a decent time. This whole staying up till 1 o'clock that last night and then waking up at 7:15, that doesn't fly for me. I can't wake up that late, man. I just feel like everything's gone. And especially because tomorrow's Sunday. So it's, the day of mourning to see if you've had enough fun for the weekend. Now, we got a short week this week, but it's going to be short as far as days, but long as far as what we need to do. So I think we got everything on there. But the best part about this game is it forces you to go look at diecast cards. You don't have to go buy a whole bunch of them, but it's fun to look at them. Now, this particular ambulance is pretty beat up. I got it on eBay several years ago. It's all chipped up. It's from 1977, and it's seen better days. But it's like a classic body shape for an ambulance. So it's already got chips on it, but it's got chips in places that I don't necessarily want the chip to be there. So we're actually kind of going to mend some of those chips on there, on the vehicle. And I'm probably going to have to wait for this to dry. So this may be the end of the session once I'm done with this and adding the primer on the ambulance. Now, we've already sealed this, and this already has a brown wash, and it's not super deep on it. We definitely want it to look like it's white. All right, so we're going to rinse this. Let's hang the brush to dry, not do the stupid thing that I frequently do. And we're going to come into this ambulance and find out, we've already primered this stuff on the inside. There's an interior, very extremely minimalistic, but there is an interior. And we're going to go ahead and try to mend some of these things. So we're going to come in here with a smaller brush. And any place that we see this chipping up here, we're going to paint that in black. We're going to add primer to it. So then when we put paint, it can adhere pretty well. Now it's going to look a little mismatched for the time being, but once we do the weathering, once you weather over these spots that I'm painting black and going to eventually paint white on it, it'll actually all look like it's not really damaged at all. Okay, so we'll need to let for this to dry, and I'm probably going to leave it until the morning. That way we know it's nice and dry, and that's what we'll start kicking ass with in the morning. We'll put one of these rams on the front, one ram on the back. I don't care if these doors open; it's irrelevant. The harpoon will go on the roof, and we'll start fishing for cars and reeling them in. All right, folks, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning if you're morning people. And see you soon. Bye-bye.